Welcome to lesson one. In this lesson, we'll start keying the footage and prepare it for compositing with other elements. So we'll try to get a decent key, not maybe not the final key because we'll be working on our background, other spaceship and everything else. And then when we have everything towards the end, when we have all the elements, and then if we see the key when we put it on top of the background and everything, and then we'll see if our key needs additional work. But for now we'll start with the key for the footage so as to be ready for importing any elements or CG renders. So let's import our footage. This clip was shot on Sony FS5. It was shot with S-Log3, and I have applied a LUT, S-Log3 LUT for the footage. And right now this is not the right color space, so we'll change the color space to sRGB because I've already applied the LUT. And let's set the project settings. The clip is 1920 by 817. That is 2.39:1 aspect ratio, and we'll be using from 0 to 160 frames. That's our project settings. So first off, we'll see the footage if there is any noise, and I'm not sure if you can see the noise, but if I play it, you see there's quite a bit of noise, especially in the red channel. And if you press G and B for blue, so RGB, R is quite noisy, green is fine, and then blue is also a bit noisy. So let's we will prepare this footage for keying. So we'll apply a denoise. So if you press tab and type denoise, it drops a denoise tab. And right now it's not working because we have to put this window on a sample. So let's sample it near the character, somewhere around here, and it's going to start processing. So it removes quite a bit of noise from red channel and also the blue channel. So this helps us in keying her out pretty evenly. And if you look at the settings, we might click the preserve edges because we have some fine details on the hair. So then, and since denoise node is quite process intensive, we'll write this out to disk. We'll write out as if I find a folder, and in that tutorial folder, NukeFX, denoise clip. So I already have a denoise clip here. It takes quite a while, so go ahead and render it out to disk, the denoise plate, and I should help with the comp. It should run faster. So I won't write it, but I'll load it from the disk, and that's the denoise clip, and I'll load it and I'll view it from here. So this is this was a raw clip, and this is the denoise clip. So we can start keying her out. The thing with the keying is because we have a character on the left side, we don't really have to key these guys. So only everything that's closer to the character, like what do you say that in that's a garbage mat. Yeah. So we'll just worry about the key that's surrounding the character. So for that, we'll be making a core mat that's solid white, and then we'll be using the key lights outer mat as the garbage mat. So first we'll use IBK for the mats. So IBK works along with another tool, that's IBK Gizmo, or sorry, color. IBK color helps us in getting a consistent background for keying, and I'll be also be using the Pixel PXF screen clean. For that, you can go ahead and find it right here. Pixel Fudger. If you go to Wikipedia, there's a tool called Pixel Fudger, which has some very good tools for keying and many other stuff. So what Screen Clean does is, if I plug it in, it will try to create especially the lighting of the green screen. Since you can see there is some uneven lighting on the green screen, so the PXF Screen Clean, if we go in here and bump up the, for example, if I put it all the way up, see it gives us a consistent green lighting. But in that process, we also lose some of the hair detail like that. So it's okay. It's good to start really, like, let's start from 0 and then go little by little as to see how far we can take this tool, where we still see our hair. So yeah, I think that's enough, because we don't really have to worry about this area. So I think this should work fine. And then we apply, we put the IBK color, and we change the screen type from green. Sorry, we change it to green if you have it into blue. And if I see what's going on here. Let me create if there is something wrong here. IBK color. See green? Yeah, there. So with IBK color, we're trying to create a clean plate for the IBK gizmo to sort out the difference between the background and the foreground. So in IBK color, we can increase the size, so it erodes, or it shrinks the character like that. And then in the patch black, where we want to patch the black, we want this area to be as green as possible, so it helps our gizmo. So let's patch the black and increase the green. We still have this area where there's hair in it. See, you can see it's so we increase it more till we have sort of even green. So I think that should work. Yeah. So that's a clean plate. I mean our green screen. Now we can plug our IBK gizmo now. So the color, the C color goes to the footage. We'll put it into the, yeah, that node, and not the color. The foreground goes on the actual footage, and the color, the C information, comes from this color, the color IBK color node. Now we also talked about the garbage mat. We can use the key mix to remove this side of the screen. So if I drop a roto node by pressing R, and we'll create a shape to not include this area. If I see the footage, so the character doesn't come anywhere near that area. So by pressing shift and arrow keys, you jump 10 frames. So I think this is okay, and then we can create another area for the top portion, just to make it easier for us. And then we can drop a key mix. Key mix, it's used for combining keys and mats. So this will go to the mask, and A goes to the footage, and B is the IBK color node. So if you look at it now, so that's before. So before it was going into the IBK gizmo, it was including all of the area of this green screen, but since we added a garbage mat, that's being excluded from the key. And now if we key, and let's put it into sea green, hold on, the key mix goes here. Okay. Oh, sorry, it has to be the other way around because A goes here and B comes here. So now we have what we need. And then the IBK gizmo, so we don't have to look it into the RGB channel because we'll just be extracting the alpha channel from the key. And right now you see there is quite a lot of noise here. You can you can play with these settings, but I prefer we can enable auto levels, but that's automatic. There's quite a bit of holes in there, but instead of auto levels, we'll instead create a grade node, and for the channel operation we'll set it to alpha, and then we'll go into the gamma and decrease it, and this gets rid of a little bit of the noise around the character. So it's kind of gone, but it's still there. But like I said, the final key or the composite will determine the output of the key, because these values are really low. Like for example, if I select this area, so these are like 1% of this area is taking only 1% of the luminance, whereas if you compare this guy, that's like 40%. So a little bit of noise is okay. The only thing that will be final is in the final composite. Now, but we see there is quite a lot of holes in the character. So in the grade node, we can go to multiply and increase it so that we fill the holes. and check the background and check the footage if there is any hole that's supposed to be there. Okay, so I think this is fine. And let's try to get rid of a little bit of the noise around the corner. Yeah, I think this should be I think this is okay for our core mat because we don't see any holes holes on the character. So this will be our core mat, and now for the outer mat that the key light we'll be using is we'll apply before that, let me just apply a little bit of blur towards the edge of the garbage mat so that there's no rough or hard transition. So for the core mat, it's working fine, but let's also add an erode filter that eats into the mat. Let's just sorry. So this should be fine because we don't want the hair to be present in the core mat, and we'll just blur it a little bit, 4 pixel or 3.5 pixel. So that's our core mat. Now we'll create the outer mat with another erode filter. And this time we're gonna increase it. Yeah, somewhere around here. So that's our core mat. This is the outer mat. So whatever is in between we'll be keying with the key light. So let's drop down key light. And for the source, we'll put the, let's put a dot node by pressing the period key and grab that. Source goes in here, and the in mat, that's the core mat, goes here, and the outer mat, out mat, or the out M goes here. So now if you take a look and specify the in mat to be alpha and out mat to be inverted alpha. So now you see we have we get the mat working for us, but we can increase the out mat a little bit more. So what I can do is go back into the filter erode alpha for let's rename it to outer mat and inner mat or core mat. So we can go here and decrease it so that that includes our hair as well. Now let's key. Let's go to screen color and click this icon, and then we go as close as possible to the hair detail or the hand area. So let's select by pressing Ctrl Shift and Alt. We drag this area and deselect, Ctrl Shift and click. So that's our key for now. You see there won't be any holes because we already have worked our way for the core mat. And I think the key looks okay. The other hair details we can come back later and finish it off. And now I think we're gonna need two keys for this guy, this character, because first off, maybe this area needs a bit softer key, and the back area needs maybe it can be a little bit harsh, because this area we have quite a bit of what do you say, a detail for the hand, for the fingers and the hair. So let's compare it to our footage and see if we can find any huge difference. Yeah, okay. So for the first gear, I think we'll try to work with the back area. Let's clip the white and let's increase the softness to maybe 1 pixel. Yeah, like that. And so this will be our this will be the left portion of the character, and now we can do for the hair portion. So we drop another key light. And do the same here. In matte is alpha and out matte is inverted alpha, and take the same outputs. So that's the in matte, core matte, this is the outer matte, and we take the source and then we key out the same way like before. Let me apply a blur because we have this hard transition between the alphas, like 4 pixel, and let's try to get the hair details just a bit more. See the values. That's really low. That's like 2%, and I'm seeing the value over here. That's almost 0.008%. So it shouldn't really be visible unless we bump up the gamma. We don't have to worry about this guy because this area will be replaced by the first key. So let's rename this area left key and the right key. Okay, so let's combine the keys. We'll drop a key mix again. So that's a B, and the right key will be the A. And let's have a look. Yeah, so we need a mask because we don't want this key. So right now everything that's being shown here is the B input. So we need a, a roto to show the this side of the key. So let's drop a roto node, and let's draw a mask, just a rough mask. And then we animate it by pressing shift key because the character moves, shift and right left arrow key. Just a few bit more. Yeah, so that's it. And now we connect that to the mask, and we also blur the mask just a bit so there's no hard edge. So if you look here, so that should work. And for the right key, I think I might wanna drop down a grade key, grade node, and only work on the alpha, and go to gamma and just decrease it. And multiply it. Yeah, keying is a very huge topic. Everyone has their own right way or wrong way. So what I'm using here is what I've learned, what I think is best for me. So with the help of the grade node, we are able to retain some of the hair detail, and I'm not worried about these area because these are really low values. Like I said, that will be confirmed during the compositing phase. So now let's bring in our. So what we worked on here is the alpha, but we won't be using the RGB image from the keyer. So we'll instead let's drop a dot node and sorry, and over here we will copy the alpha, the key from here, and then copy that alpha to the actual footage. But that won't be the clean green screen, but the actual original footage. So we drop a copy node. The B is where the background goes, and the A is from where we will be receiving the key, the alpha. And so our footage now has alpha channel, and now we pre-multiply it with the alpha, and that gives us this. You see there is quite a bit of green spill. So before the merging of the alpha, we'll use this from PXF kill spill. PXF kill spill. So now you see it get rid of all the green in there. And now to check our key, let's merge it the background. Checkerboard. That's a background, and A foreground, and If you just merge like that, then it carries over the alpha from the background. But in the operation, we can go to B channel and only copy RGB, sorry. So that gives us this, and we can now do a flip book and see how our key holds. All the grading of this area will be only finalized when we have all the CG renders and backgrounds. So, but we will see if there's any kind of drifting going on in the key. So let's check from frame 0 to 60, and let's preview. Yes, so our preview is done, and let's have a look. So the key looks okay. These edges we'll work it on the final composite when we will multiply these edges with the background colors, so that would blend, and then we can do an edge detect and blur this area with the actual background, and that should really um, go well with the composite. What you can also do to make the work fast is you can write down the alpha channel to the disk, and then when our scene gets very heavy towards the end, then it will help in a fastering process, because right now it has to go through quite a lot of the nodes. So I think this is final for the key part. Thank you.